Thank you very much, Boaz. Okay, the hour now is 10 minutes to 11. We will have a 40 minutes roundtable session. The purpose of the session is to pinpoint different perspective of the heat island effect and the challenge in terms of different actors that operate within our cities. We will have a representative, the chair of every session is a representative or from a local NGO, from initiatives such as the Green Building Council and Merchav NGO, and for Heschel Center, and also from government officials such as the Ministry of Environmental Protection and other municipal cities. So what we'll have 4 different tables, which are these 4 tables. If we will need, we will open a 5th one. I think that it's almost required, so we will start with the 4, and at the same time, maybe we'll open a 5th one. Let's raise the hand of the chairs. We will have Ella. It's the first chair to get together with Hila. This table. We will have myself together with Noga. This table. We will have Roni Erez together with Lorit. Lorit Loba? Okay, you will have her on that table. And we will have Tal Vago together with Shulamit. Do you prefer this table? Wonderful. Okay, so please have a chance to sit down, and we will assemble together at 11:30.
Sustainability. We work with many cities in Israel around those questions of that's table 4. You're very welcome.
No, there are 2 number 4.
Sorry?
There are
2 table 4s?
4 and 4.
Join our table.
I got the one, the first table, but
We have a lot
I
of
went there.
members here.
Tell me which number you
I
want.
don't think
I have one.
Sit down here.
Come on, join us. So yes, I'm here to answer any questions that are specific about Tel Aviv, about urban design in Israel, or whatever else you would need for progressing the discussion.
Hi, my name is Ofer. I'm from Keren Energy. We are a private SME that want to deal with the knowledge, the citizens' awareness for the climate crisis at all, and the urban island in this project by getting all the people understand that there is a problem. It's the citizens and the, let's call it the capacity building of the people from the municipality. Today was working almost alone in the city. All the other people doesn't understand what he's doing there.
What was the question?
Just introduction.
Yael. I'm an intern from Tel Aviv University. I'm interning in the city, in the Tel Aviv city hall. That's it, basically. I'm a student for master's in environmental science.
Thank you. I'm Michelle, and actually we're the same company, so I will list to him to present more. But I'm working we're in the logistics business. And what, sorry? We're in the logistics business, and I'm actually in charge of the human capital in the part of human resources. So the company presentation I will list to him to present.
Number 1, 4.
Shall we follow? All right. So, hi everybody, Stefano Negrini. Indeed, we are partners in our startup, which is working the logistic, looking for the contribution to the sustainable development goals. So, sustainability in logistics. And we are participating actually as a co-partners with Offer to the project of Tel Aviv, looking at a kind of awareness raising project in order, as mentioned by Ofer, to contribute to make citizens and communities understand the impact of the urban heat and of our daily activities in the climate impact and change that we are living every day.
Logistics as in trucks going,
Logistics as
bringing
moving.
commodities from A to B?
Yes, that's
So,
correct.
as part of as a logistics startup, you're doing public awareness?
That's correct. Actually, we are having a platform with a number of services. One of these services is related to raising awareness and educating the people on the impact of the unsustainable logistics. That's our main field. Into the, let's say, daily life of the people, but more in general, as was mentioned before. We don't like to say human-centric. We like to say world-centric, because even animals or plants are affected by the unsustainable way of living. So in relation to the smart cities, logistics is clearly impacting in the first and last mile, and that's where we come into the picture of trying to raise awareness. What is the impact of the today's logistics into the life of the citizen in the cities?
Thank you.
My name is Gideon, from a company named Magna, Israeli company, Israeli startup. We are dealing in video analytics or mainly software. All the solutions that we provide
and I think maybe just to know each other, exactly 30 seconds. Each one of you tell his name and where he is, and
Maybe I'll go last because
okay.
Okay, I'm Veronica and I work in Smart City Cluster. It is an NGO working with SMEs mainly for them to arrive to the business of the cities. We are more than 200 members. He's one of our members. We were created in 2014 and we work with many territories around Spain in order then to understand that SMEs are the keys for them to make better projects. So we make any kind of project, any kind of proposal. We really believe in cooperation, and I could be speaking more and more, but that's it.
Yeah, and searching for funds. For example, now we are applying to different funds for European projects, and so they will help us. Normally, they help us to create the proposal, to find and connect with the municipalities.
Okay. Thank you very much.
My turn. I'm Carlo. I'm from University of Genoa, but here I'm on behalf of SIT Technologies, which is a spin-off from the university, which mainly manufactures Tesla turbines, which are bladeless turbo expanders. Mechanical components. I know boring stuff, but they can be useful because they can be put wherever we have pressure drops instead of classical valves and diaphragms, to recover some energy, and so to generate mechanical power and to improve the efficiency of energy plants and circulating system of water, gas, of everything, in particularly cooling plants, and so to improve efficiency and reduce CO2 emissions. So we are happy with that because we should lessen the global warming effect. So this is all I think.
Nice to meet you all. My name is Noam. I work as a sustainable businesses and innovation coordinator here in Tel Aviv Municipality. Also, I'm a master's student in environmental regulation and policy track here in Israel. I represent me and my boss who couldn't be here, Ayelet. We're mainly focusing on what is the main role of Tel Aviv Municipality in developing and encouraging startups here in the city to help us to cope with the environmental challenge like we presented today, and also to engage how we can make different incentives for the small, medium offices, restaurants, the small one in the streets, to make them to minimize the environmental footprint.
Hi, my name is Adasi Ofe. I'm a business development manager at DHV. We are an environmental consultant company. I think you met yesterday my colleague, Mordina.
Yes.
Yes, okay. And we developed a system called Safer. We monitor heat, wind, and also other parameters. And we believe that in this way we can first understand what is the problem in each city, where are the heat islands, and help us prevent and think what to do with this. Thank you.
Okay, so here you are.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm Pina Plaut, I'm from GSET.
Say again,
GSET.
yeah, there is a noise.
And we're developing a platform for data-driven decision making, which is based on the spatial dimension. So we get data from all kinds of sources. There are lots of data out there from governmental sources, private sources, NGOs.
Is a urban data platform. Is a urban data platform.
It's an urban platform.
Based on big data, maybe, no?
It's cameras and sensors, not just big data, but big data
Yeah,
as well. And small data, which is large amounts.
Decision.
We bring them to a common platform, and then we do the analysis of findings and locations which meet several criteria. So you can choose the criteria that you wish and assign some importance to each of the criteria, and then you get a heat map of the area or the city or the region, whatever, with the best places on the list. With the best places that meet this criteria and the least desired places. I guess data from you. I didn't hear that, but data from you.
We can make maybe.
Something. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just to
my company is about cybersecurity. So basically, we build a digital twin of the infrastructure of companies, and we are able to define the minimum set of countermeasures in order to neutralize all the potential cyber risks.
You know that you are in the kingdom of the cybersecurity. Okay, just let you know.
Where are you again? Because I couldn't see.
Italy.
No, which organization?
Haruspec's cybersecurity.
And you're very similar to an Israeli actor.
Yeah. No, I don't know, but it looks very.
לא זוכרת את השם שלו, אבל זה same. I will remember his name.
It looks
Exactly.
very
handsome.
Very handsome.
Yeah, because we are
Awesome.
My name is David Tujeman. I'm from Israel. I'm having a company that's dealing with BIPV. BIPV is building integrated photovoltaic. We are designing, executing plans of PV, but on facets and unused areas to maximize the places that green energy can generate it.
Onion facets?
No, every unused areas. It starts from acoustic barriers on the streets to facets to shading, and it's also improving the comfort in the building and improving the reducing the use of electricity and increasing the generation of electricity over the urban cities.
My name is Kat. I have two caps actually. Here I am like entrepreneur. I developed a solution for helping people with reduced mobility to find parking spots, available parking spots, and help also the municipalities in order to improve their challenges even always looking for the user, like the receiver of the quality of the life. Let me say, we are changing the model from smart city to smart human city, where the center of the project is the people, not the city. Okay, so it's a cross-sectional platform, already present in 9 countries, with more than 45,000 spots mapped in more than 300 cities. Okay, and I also have the cap of PRM. So PRM is a ONG, Spanish-based, that detect different accessible IT solutions in order to promote and improve the quality of life of our group, at least in Europe. Yeah.
Thank you. And before Tal, just please introduce yourself.
But lady first.
No, I don't want to take her place.
Lady first.
Ladies first. Later.
But I'm continuing after.
Okay, so I'm Shaul Levy. I'm a tree expert of the agriculture in Israel, and I take care of trees. And what I brought here to everybody to take notice, and by what you saw earlier, trees have a huge factor in seeing the forecast of the future and dealing with this. Everybody talk about those 3 to 4 degrees of temperature that's going to go higher in the next 50 years, and I'm saying those trees, the mature trees, not young trees that we just planted and they look nice, the mature trees, they will be the ones that will barricade the heat that will affect us as humans in the city. If it comes as a shade from the buildings that inflect us, or from the ground up as a shade that cools the ground, or from a shade from the sun effect. And of course, trees makes old trees. Old trees is very important. Mature old trees have to be cut right, treated right, documented right, so everybody will know. Not only the city officials that would have to get that into their minds all the time, how to deal and take care of trees so they will mature. Trees can mature up to 500, 800 years, and sometimes the wrong treatment that we give to trees, actually we call it in Hebrew, Gzam Din Mavis. It's a cut that cut down. So you cut a branch, you think it's doing good, your worker cut a branch, and then this cut will bring the insects, the parasites, and eventually will bring this tree that got let's say 50 years, which looks like in our lifetime as a mature tree, is nothing for what will affect him for the next following environment. Trees can outlive us, and what we're doing in our lifetime won't even be noticed by us, but will be noticed for the next generation. So what I'm bringing here to this discussion is that act of document and tree care, very important, and I think the most effective perspective that we have to look at for the next future. As he said, those people that built Tel Aviv, when they saw in the past what will be in the future, we're enjoying it now. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm bringing to the table.
Okay, thank you very much.
Several, at least 8 trees in a row, at least in our municipality, when you plant, when you renovate a new street. Question regarding to Hila and her 4 challenges in terms of heat. Okay, I think it will come Ella or Noga, who wants to be first.
I think I'm going with that because of some of the things you said. I think we're dealing mainly with the public surrounding. We're not dealing with the building. That's I think the contact point between us. We're dealing with the public surrounding, and we think that availability and accessibility, variety of options and opportunities is a very important part. And reducing that, we will say walkability is our greater challenge, walkability, and of course reducing driving, reducing the use of private cars in Israel, and I will talk about Israel in general, because Tel Aviv is not really Israel, it's like Paris, it's not France. And I think our main part of the big issues is the middle and small cities and towns, because big cities usually have the power to do the research. I mean, it's not by chance it was showed on Tel Aviv. We have a big issue about the small places, and I think I thought about
small places?
Small places can be small cities, small cities, small towns. Yes. Not great scale like Tel Aviv, which has the money and power to do research and data and analyze, and it's not a fair game. I think we are lack of management, which is the municipality part. We are lack of infrastructures, which is municipality part, but we also are lack in habits, which is the users. So it's both sides. We have both sides to deal with. One is the user, like a person. We are all walkers in the end. I mean, when we are out of our cars, we are walking, and it has to come together. That's the challenge, I think. How we do with the habits, and how we deal with the infrastructure, which means how the city is built. Trees is a huge part of it, but also the size of the streets, the size of the place we give to the cars, according to the place we give to the walkers, and we are in a huge lack. Let's say another one is working together. In the end, it's a result of working together. And today, in most places, we do not work together. We don't speak with all the players in the game.
Who is we?
We?
Who is we?
The people that make the city.
Okay.
usually we
public,
see
private,
yes.
NGO.
Usually we see the urban planners, which are our founders are urban planners. I'm not. They are all talking. Not all. Let's not be so dramatic, but we don't include city planners, okay? We do not include all the players in the game, like community builders, like commercial. We have to put them in, and we are lack of platforms to do that. Platforms to access to big data, because we need it, and it has to be very simple. They were not learning in the technicum for 100 years. So platforms and models, some were showed here, some models, how you work, how you can very easily show things. I think it's something we need very much. So it's also social tools we are lacking. Some collecting and showing data tools we are lacking. Measurements, we have a huge measuring quality. So I think for now it's enough.
What do you mean by quantity?
We know to say numbers about everything. We're very good in numbers, but we are hardly speaking about. And by the end, it's us. We live in the street. So let's say the sidewalks are one of our main issues, and we're dealing very poorly with that. And trees are part of it, but there are other ways to do it as well, or should be other ways, can be other ways.
What impacts the decision in the end? How are you trying to change the balance? Or
we as an NGO, we're working with mayors. We are running seminars for mayors, and they're coming with big problems. They're coming with say, how can we make our streets better fields, shade and wind. They're asking us, and we are dealing with that, talking with them, because they are the decision makers, comparing to the urban planners, which make decisions, but they are not the politicians. So we are trying to address the political level as well as the professional workers. As I said before, writing, talking with municipalities and other authorities, whatever. And, for example, working with big companies.
So what is the challenge in terms of the heat, the urban heat island effect? What is the connection between the lack of collaboration, the lack of data that you mentioned? What is the connection?
The connection is because we believe that mainly today the תכנני תנועה. Traffic planner, thank you. They really put the 80% of the results, and they are not in the picture at all.
They're impacting this.
They're
the most?
impacting. I think they're impacting the most, because once you put the lines of the roads, that's it, and they are not in the game.
I do have a question. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so I have a question about the bike paths. From what I understand, in Israel, they're like about to build a whole lot more bike paths, and I wonder, how that build bike.
Okay.
Sorry,
yes.
my accent. I'm Australian.
You're fine.
I'm
Australian. My accent
Hebrew
is
that work
also
in Danish.
Yeah, I know. It's very confusing. People think I'm Danish all the time. It's
goes with what I mentioned before. It's the habits and the infrastructure. We are lacking in both.
Like people don't ride. It's like a chicken and the egg.
It's a chicken and egg. Yes.
I want to focus about the Heat Highland and also
sorry.
and also have a chance to Noga to present and 2 comments. So one last comment regarding Ella perspective and
I was yesterday one of the visits. They show something that I already knew. It was in Barcelona. They have they call it the super perilla. It's a special, they try to make the different quartiers or whatever that you can just use it as pedestrian, the less car as possible in this urbanization. So they plan it in a way that the cars can only go to one certain point, and then the rest of the things are there, and then you have all the needs, the basic needs you need in the same area.
So that's what we're trying to talk about, the city of 400 meters.
Yes, and this is something that they are already working with, in Barcelona. They have something with that. And just a picture, I remember we have a good example in Malaga. We have a special office that is dealing with the environment in the city. And sometimes in the presentation, what you have is a pedestrian going into the, when you are in a construction, that you have this just small wooden path to go upstairs. This is how the pedestrians are in the street. You have cars, motorways, street, cars, whatever, and it's very difficult. The cities are not built for pedestrians. Are built for citizens. Are built for other things. Yes, in the new area. So they're trying to approach it in the way that the citizens have more powerful in the construction of the city. I agree.
Congratulations. Good solution coming with also sometimes with some problems. But it is what it is.
I think
the plan to be famous.
I think, in my opinion, there is 2 issues. Okay, one is the city or the municipal understanding that the solution might be from our people, from the industry, not from the smart people in the city that are running the city, but let us the public, let us the companies, let us in the world. Okay, this is the one thing that it doesn't happen immediately. It will take time to understand that you need us and we need you. I'm saying we as a company, private company, we need you to understand what is you're looking for, what is the needs, okay? What is the forecast, okay? And you need us to give the solution, to fit the solution, to combine between them. This is the first thing. The second thing, and the most important, is we are companies. We are not working for free. We need some fund, we need some money to earn to create the solution. This is why he's representing his tools, I'm representing my tools, and the same thing. So if you do not have, we will not volunteer, that's what I'm saying. We can volunteer for something if you know at the end we will have some benefit of that.
So first of all, we're not city representatives.
Yeah, I don't know, but
this particular
the idea.
Particular context is, I think, from what I understand, is part of a competition or a tender that whatever SME can that will choose to submit to this particular challenge can gain or win a certain a very initial, I think, sum. And also, I think part of European Union projects such as this one is to try and give businesses the working ground, because businesses also need pilot, they need the data, they need the understanding, they need the cooperation. And here the professionals of the Tel Aviv Municipality, I know them, seriously intelligent, fantastic people, and I think it's a very good opportunity for businesses to get an inside information and with open arms get the data, get the cooperation, get the understanding of the city. So yeah, you're definitely correct, but I think we are in a much more initial level. Like, we're trying to help each other develop the solutions that are most suitable to the needs.
What we thought about is that today in Israel, if there would be an alarm now, everybody knows what to do. Run to the shelter, hide, do whatever they need. If there is a heat stress, if it is 3 days of hot weather, nobody knows what to do. If he is able to go to the street, if it's now the right timing. And what we are trying to do in this project is, by the day that it will be warm, people would know if they are able to go outside, what is the street that they can walk in. They don't have the money to cover the city with shades, but to bring the people to understand the problem. It's something that must be done, and then from the citizens, from the mayor, would come the budget to bring new projects.
I have a question, but I came in the middle, but I heard most of you in need of pollution, of carbon, of whatever it is else. But I haven't heard about sensor of heat, and I wonder, and it could be, and maybe it's a question, it could be on a street level, connecting it to what you say. Can I know if in my street, not the general city, whether in my street, in my house, what is outside, what is currently the temperature and what is the risk? So is it something that you're thinking about, being more modular, more flexible on the monitoring?
My point of view is following the law.
Okay.
Basically, but we are living in, at least I'm talking for myself and some other people around here, we are living in Italy. In Italy, of course, we are not feeling this problem as you are feeling here. Just an example, close to my house, they have to build they have to grow up a new building, and they are cutting trees of 70, 80 years old. It's it's amazing because they need to make a park in there.
In Genova?
This is Italy. No, I'm talking Florence.
Florence? Wow.
Okay. So we have plenty of green. Not worry about it. It's not our problem. It's your problem. I see because the cities are different. Your cities look like our cities in the southern part of Italy, where this problem is more important. More relevant. So concerning your needs, I'm a technological expert that works horizontally, so I'm not an expert on island effect and things like this. But as far as I understand, the first starting point is to plant trees everywhere, on the roof, vertically, horizontally, in the streets. So I mean, the first thing is that the solution needs, I think, plants. Of course, you can also generate powers, electricity, everything with most, let's say, powerful tools that consume less energy and everything. But I think the main issue is that you need green. So I think this is my opinion, and from my point of view, I can also be complementary to somebody that is able to plant trees, to make garden on the roof, and to make things like this. Then I can give you, let's say, wearable devices, fixed devices to monitor whatever you want. I can make you devices like fit exactly on the special tree that maybe detects the pollen, whatever you want. But this is complementary. I believe that as far as I understand, and I'm not an expert, that basically we need somebody at the table that is planting trees or something like this.
I'll tell you that Tel Aviv they've given a challenge themselves to plant 500,000 trees within, I think, until 2030, whatever. But trees, once you plant them, it takes them at least, well, it depends on the tree, but at least between, I don't know, 5-10 years to give. My dream is, I keep telling every time I meet Boaz that I want someone to design like some sort of an infrastructure that you can plant a tree inside it, and it gives you artificial shade.